Hello, Ram fans, and welcome to another edition of Meet the Rams Above the Rim, a bi-weekly show we're going to be doing with the men's basketball team and coach here. This is the new season. We're starting on the second half. I remember in the last show we did how you talked about you have 2 seasons going on.
Right.
Before we get into the second half of the season, I want to refresh on our last one. You talked about a Christmas party you were going to be having with your athletes at your house, and you talked about some of the stuff that could come up during that. You just want to tell us a little bit about how that party went off and some of the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, we do one of those elephant gift exchanges. Most of those guys have never done that, so I buy a bunch of presents, and you know, there's deodorant in there, there's decent gifts, gift cards, stuff like that. So it's just a chance for us to kind of get away from the game, see the genuine side of them, share and laugh and kind of banter with each other. So it was fun. Went by fast. I mean, obviously, first semester ties up pretty quick, then you get a little break, and then now you're right back in it. So,
right. Of course, you've started out this second half of the season. You've had quite a few ups and downs, you could say, through the season. The last one being a down last night with a loss to John Brown University on the last shot. You just want to talk about the team so far in the first half.
The one thing that I've noticed about this team is we are trying. I mean, we're trying. We've got so many things to work on. It has been difficult because without poking fingers, pointing fingers or anything like that, it just feels like we're playing a massive game of whack-a-mole. Every time something comes up, something else comes up, and we're trying hard. I'm optimistic that we're going to figure it out. My expectations are pretty high, and so we just haven't met them yet. But we're practicing hard. Our guys are doing great. We actually did really well in class last semester with a 3.0 GPA as a team, which is to be commended. I mean, so stuff like that, it's been good. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just this league's so difficult night in, night out. So we're trying. We just need to do a better job producing. So.
Now, also, too, during this time span over the break, you've had a new addition that you brought into the team, a transfer from, I believe, Texas Southern, number 10, Isaiah Marin, sorry.
Right.
What does he bring to the team, basically, and what are you trying to do by bringing him?
Well, he's a big point guard. He's got great vision. He hasn't played in a year, so he's a little rusty. You can see he's turned the ball over a little too much and tried a little hard, but he was kind of putting it in an impossible situation because he came in, had a week of practice with us, threw him into the mix, and so now he's started every game playing a ton of minutes. But if and when he does get his legs under him and some balance, he's going to really help us. He really can pass the ball. He's a big guard. He can defend well. He rebounds well. I think he had 8 rebounds last night. So those are the type of things you just can't replace. And we needed somebody that had some leadership on the ball, understood how to move it, and find it in the right hands, and I'm hoping he can do that.
So what other changes in dynamics do you think we'll see with the Rams in the second half of the season as compared to the first half?
Well, there's not a whole lot of changing. We just need to improve, I don't make things overly complicated here. I don't think this game needs to be complicated. Our defense has been really good. We've held almost everybody we played under their averages for the year defensively. The problem, the deficiencies that we've had is turning the ball over, and offensively, we can't put the ball in the basket. I've never seen anything like it, and we're trying at it. We spent an hour this morning shooting, and I think it's coming along. It's just, this group, sometimes when you try too hard, it affects you the way you play, and so I think that's where they're at. We're going to get around to it. We're going to make some baskets, but we would be winning games right now if we would just put the ball in the basket. Because our defense has been really solid. The rebounding's okay. We're getting more production out of some guys. But offensively, we really, really just got to put the ball in the basket.
Now, you talked about all the challenges you're having this season with your team. What are some of the things you do to relax and get away from the stress of having so much things that happen this season? Me? Yes, you.
Oh, Lord. Well, I got 4 kids at home, so that's not relaxing. I don't have much time right now, just to be candid with you. I'll tell you what this year has provided me is some perspective. Winning is hard. Doing anything successful is hard. But I'll tell you, I'm not just a coach, so I really enjoy being a dad and a husband. and a son and a brother. And so when I leave this place, I haven't gotten numb to losing because I hate losing, but I have learned to maybe shelve it till tomorrow or find a way to just put my phone away at home and focus on my family. So those are the type of things. And then also my wife has been sending my kids up here with me to calm me down because she realizes that if they're with me, I'm not going to be as volatile. And so you'll see them at the games and you'll see them at practice and stuff like that. So listen, I'm not saying some radical statement. Losing always brings out difficult times and the worst in people sometimes, and even makes you acknowledge things you didn't really recognize. That's what losing does to coaches. But what I've learned through this process of a challenging team and a challenging time is that perspective. Really going home knowing my kids are healthy, wife's healthy, family's healthy, and it's a game, man. You know, we're just trying to figure it out, and we still got time to do it. So I guess that's your answer. I don't have any hobbies.
Well, something else I want to talk about is two very important events we have coming up on the 27th of this month when the men's and women's basketball team will be taking on conference rival Sagu University. First and foremost, there's going to be an Alumni Appreciation Day that's going to be going on. It's going to be a little fundraiser for your basketball team. In addition to that also, too, that's the week of Coaches versus Cancer, and we're going to be honoring, of course, your assistant coach, who we talked about in the first show, Brian Wanamaker. In addition, we're also going to be honoring the ex-head coach of men's golf, Bobby Cornett.
Right.
You want to talk a little bit about both of those events, if you could?
Well, the alumni deal is always a special time because we get to bring people back to the school and the gym. And I think it'll be neat for them to see the upgrades, and then obviously, you know, we can keep cranking that music to irritate all the old people in there. But that being said, the alumni deal is always a fun time because they come back, see each other and all that stuff. And we get, at least on the men's side, we always have 5 or 6 former players at the games. So they're going to spread the word. And then secondary, but if not more important, is it's Coaches versus Cancer for the week. And it's always been an important event to bring awareness, but this year is in particular special. Only because how close it hits Brian, and then obviously Bobby, who's been is a legend here. Right. You know, he's a pillar of this university, and so he's been a dear friend of mine since the day I walked in here in 2001. And so for him to come back and we can acknowledge him and just show some support, you know. Is a couple $100 donation going to make a big deal? I don't know, but I think us just acknowledging and showing the support's big. So
good. I'm glad you're doing that for me.
Yeah.
The one other thing that I want to talk about real quickly before we get out of here, of course, you're going to be going on the road tomorrow to take on another conference foe in Oklahoma City University. You just want to talk a little bit about Oklahoma City University, what they bring to the table, and what Ram Nation should expect to see from them.
Well, it's going to be a tough game because we're both trying to win. You know, we're both kind of looking up at some schools and trying to catch up. They got 2 really good players. Both are local kids. You know, James, just to be candid with you, if we will just do what we're supposed to do, we will win the game. I haven't really gotten involved with other teams because I'm so concerned about mine. You know, Langston was a different animal. We didn't go up there and play very well at all. The Central Christian, we had a 15-point lead in the second half, gave it away. Last night, I thought we should have executed a little bit better down the stretch, missed a lot of layups, had turnovers, should have won the game. I didn't think John Brown took the game from us. I thought we assisted them in that. And I'm not taking anything away from John Brown. They're a great program. But I thought that we had control of our fate. And so the same thing's going to apply tomorrow. If we just do the simple stuff, we stick to our goals and our roles and play our system, we shouldn't have an issue. But that's the $1 million question. Our coaches will be ready. The players need to be ready. And we have dug ourselves such a hole that, you know, we got not to be funny, we just got a huge monkey on our back. Like, we've got to get this off our back and start playing better basketball heading into February because time's ticking. you know, to make something of the season. So we'll be fine. I just, you know, we got to put the ball in the basket. We got to guard and rebound. So.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming out of your busy schedule today to come in here and talk to us for a little bit. Ram Nation, for Brennen Shingleton, I'm James McBride. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks for Meet the Rams Above the Rim. You good, buddy?